A gray cat, gaunt, with scars slicing across its face like old cracks, snatches a piece of bread from the hands of an old woman feeding pigeons at the market square. Her scream cuts through the air, her cane thumps against the cobblestones, but the cat is already darting down an alley, vanishing into the shadows. Its green eyes gleam not with hunger but with a cold, almost human malice. The pigeons scatter, the woman curses, and passers-by whisper, "What kind of beast is that?" This is no ordinary stray. Its movements are precise, its gaze calculated, as if it's not stealing but executing a plan. Why does a cat living off garbage despise humans so fiercely? The square hums with life, vendors shout, kids chase a ball, but the gray cat doesn't return. It fears no noise yet avoids everyone, grandmothers with plates of porridge, children reaching to pet it, even barking dogs. Locals know it, a cat that won't be touched, doesn't meow, doesn't beg. One day, Petro, a boy from the nearby building, sees the cat steal a fish from a stall. But instead of eating, it drags the prize into a dark alley. Bored with his monotonous days, Petro feels the pull of a mystery. He follows, keeping his distance. The cat slips into the basement of an old 5-story building. Petro waits, but it doesn't emerge. A rustle, then silence. He peers into the darkness, empty, just the stench of rotting wood and fish. On the floor lies a rope the cat used to drag its loot. Petro picks it up, and his heart clenches. It's sticky, as if soaked in blood. He drops it, but the thought lingers. This cat is hiding something. Rumors say it was once a pet, abandoned. Others laugh, it's wild as a wolf. But wolves don't steal fish to leave it in basements. Petro goes home, but sleep evades him. The malice in the cat's eyes isn't instinct. It's deeper, as if the cat is seeking revenge. For what? The next day, he's back at the square. The cat is there, perched on a dumpster, licking its paw. Their eyes meet, but it doesn't flee. Petro senses, this cat is the key to a story he must unravel. The cat bolts, and Petro follows without hesitation. The gray cat, called gray by locals for its fur, is no typical stray. It shuns everyone, grandmothers with food, kids eager to pet, dogs snapping at it. Its movements are cautious, always alert. Petro notices it doesn't just wander, it has a purpose. One evening, he sees Gray steal a fish from a stall and vanish into an alley. Petro expects it to eat, but the cat carries the fish to the basement. He follows, staying in the shadows. Gray leaves the fish and flees. Petro looks inside, darkness, mold, no cats or food. The next day, the fish is gone. Who took it? Why didn't Gray eat it? Curiosity turns to obsession. Petro tracks Gray every evening, hiding behind dumpsters or fences. The cat repeats its ritual, steals food, fish, bread, sometimes meat, and takes it to the basement. Petro notes that Gray never eats on the spot, though it looks gaunt, almost skeletal. He buys a flashlight and ventures into the basement. Ropes, crates, but nothing alive. Only a piece of cloth Gray used to drag food, stained with dark spots like blood. A chill runs through Petro. He asks around. A grandmother by the entrance says Gray appeared a year ago, like it came from hell. A fishmonger complains it steals weekly but can't be caught. Petro returns to the basement, searching for clues. Scratches on the wall are too deep for a cat. He recalls Gray's stare, not scared, but challenging. This isn't instinct. It's a plan. Petro hides in the basement at night, clutching his flashlight. Hours drag, his legs numb. At midnight, footsteps, not feline, human. A man in a grimy coat with rough hands enters, takes the fish, and tosses Gray a piece of sausage like it's a dog. The cat hisses but eats. Petro holds his breath. Gray is working for someone. But who is this man? Why does the cat obey? Petro can't believe it. Gray, a feral cat, works for a human. But the man in the coat doesn't act like an owner. His movements are coarse, his voice raspy, like he's used to giving orders. He doesn't pet Gray, just tosses food and leaves. Gray eats the sausage, but its eyes burn with rage. Hidden behind crates, Petro's heart pounds. This isn't friendship. It's a deal. He decides to follow the man. The next evening, Petro waits by the basement. The man takes the food and heads to an old warehouse on the city's edge. Petro follows, staying behind trees. The warehouse is a dilapidated building with broken windows. Barking dogs and muffled voices echo from inside. Gray trails the man but stops at the entrance. Its tail twitches, ears pinned back. The cat doesn't go in, as if afraid. The door is locked, windows barred. Petro goes home, but his mind races. Why does Gray bring food to this man? What's in the warehouse? The barking haunts him, he's heard it before. Locals said it used to be an auto shop, now abandoned. Is it? Petro recalls the blood on the rope. Is Gray feeding dogs? But why would a cat that hates humans help anyone? The next day, he circles the warehouse in daylight. Cigarette butts, empty bottles, tire tracks litter the ground. In the bushes, a piece of cloth like the one Gray dragged, reeking of sweat and blood. Anger surges. Gray isn't just a victim. It's being forced. Petro watches the warehouse at night, hiding in the bushes. Near midnight, men appear, two strangers and the man in the coat. They unlock the door, and the barking grows louder. Petro catches words, feed the dogs, fights tomorrow, his stomach churns. Dog fights? Gray is feeding dogs for illegal fights? But why is the cat involved? Petro is stunned, the warehouse hosts illegal dog fights, and Gray feeds the dogs. But why does a cat that despises humans aid criminals? Its movements show no fear, but its eyes are full of pain. Petro returns to the basement and finds another rope, stained with dried blood and a single human hair. He takes it to a police acquaintance, who listens reluctantly but agrees to check the warehouse. We need evidence, he says. Petro knows a rope isn't enough. He watches Gray closely. The cat operates like a machine, steals, delivers, hides. But one evening, the man in the coat kicks Gray for moving too slowly. The cat hisses but doesn't flee. Petro's throat tightens. Gray is a slave. He records video at the warehouse, seeing men lead out scarred, skinny dogs fed with Gray's food. A thug spots him, and Petro barely escapes into the bushes, heart racing. He notices Gray limping worse, a new scar on its neck like from a collar. Petro recalls the blood, the hair. Is Gray a witness to something worse? He digs through old articles about the warehouse. A newspaper mentions a girl, Alya, who vanished 2 years ago while working at the auto shop. She was never found. Petro returns to the basement. Under boards, he finds a faded photo, a girl holding a cat like Gray, but younger, scar-free. On the back, Merchik, 2022. His heart clenches. Gray was a pet. Its name was Merchik. Where's the girl? Why does the cat serve criminals? Holding the photo, Petro's mind buzzes. Gray, Merchik, was a house cat. But the girl vanished, and the cat works for thugs. He visits a cafe, asking old-timers about her. An old man recalls, Alya worked at the auto shop, fought with some crooks, and disappeared. Petro returns to the warehouse at night, knife in pocket. He sees the man in the coat lead a dog while Gray sits aside, licking a wound. Petro snaps photos, spotting an old auto shop sign, of Lysenko. Alya? It's coming together. He searches newspaper archives. Alya clashed with the shop's owner, Viktor Kravitz, suspected of shady dealings. Petro googles, Kravitz still lives in town, linked to dog fights. Back at the basement, Petro finds a rope with a scrap of jacket-like cloth, stained with blood and dirt. He senses he's being watched. Gray's silhouette flickers in the shadows. Petro reaches out, but the cat hisses and bolts. He shows the photo to his police contact, explaining the warehouse. "We need solid evidence," the cop says. Petro sees the man in the coat with a bloodied knife, and his stomach lurches. Gray sits by the warehouse, keeping distance. Why does a cat that avoids everyone stay despite beatings? Petro sneaks to the warehouse's back entrance. Inside, the stench of blood, caged dogs, crates of Gray's food. Under boards, a torn collar inscribed, "Merchik." He grabs it and hides as footsteps approach. Petro slips out, but his mind races. The collar, blood, alias disappearance, it's connected. Gray looks weaker, a fresh scar on its neck. Petro googles Kravitz, finding a photo, Kravitz with the man in the coat, Iyer, his right-hand man. Gray is their puppet. But why doesn't it run? For Alya? Petro meets Gray in an alley. The cat doesn't flee, but its eyes brim with distrust. Petro offers bread, Gray bites him and vanishes. Petro doesn't take it personally, he sees himself in the cat. He sets up a camera by the basement. It captures Iyer beating Gray. Petro's fists clench. To save the cat, he must destroy the warehouse. Watching the footage, fury boils. Why does Gray endure the abuse? Petro digs through the basement, finding another photo, Alya holding Merchik. On the back, Merchik, 2022. He visits a journalist who covered Alya's case. The man says Alya gathered evidence against Kravitz and vanished. Petro shows the photo. The journalist frowns, that cat was with her. Petro notices Gray lingering near a garage by the warehouse. Inside, a box of papers, one marked O. Vlasenko. He sets a camera by the garage. It records Iyer moving the box to a car. Gray watches. Petro realizes, the cat knows where the evidence is. Seeing Iyer beat Gray, Petro barely restrains himself. But without proof, he's powerless. He breaks into the garage, finding documents, invoices, dog lists, client names. Among them, Alya's note, Kravitz sells drugs through fights. Petro snaps photos but hears footsteps. He hides and slips out. Gray watches, as if it knew where to look. Petro shows the photos to the cop, "We need witnesses." Gray is the only witness. The cat steals a paper, leaving it in the basement, a list of fight dates and payments. Iyer spots Petro, throwing a knife that grazes his shoulder. Petro flees, clutching the paper. Gray appears, an ally. No longer just a curious kid, Petro's shoulder aches, but rage burns hotter. He has evidence, videos, documents, Alya's note. Gray, bringing the paper, is a partner. Petro hands everything to activists, who contact the police. He sets another camera, Iyer burns papers, but Petro has copies. The journalist agrees to publish a story. Gray steals another paper, Kravitz's client list. Petro gives it to the police but asks them to wait, to save the dogs and Gray. He speaks to the cat, "We'll stop them, Merchik." Gray's eyes hold trust. Petro organizes a protest. Police arrive, Iyer and Kravitz flee, but Gray chases Iyer, showing the way. Petro films. Gray guards the garage. Petro grips Merchik's collar. They're a team. Police storm the warehouse as the protest peaks. Activists shout, dogs bark, Iyer and Kravitz are caught. Gray watches them led away, its eyes calm, as if it knew this day would come. The raid lasts till dawn. Police find more documents, Alya's note is key. The journalist's article shakes the city. Activists take the dogs to a shelter, and Petro searches for Gray. The cat vanishes, but in the basement, a piece of cloth, its gift. The cop says Alya was likely killed, but her case is reopened. Petro leaves a bowl of fish by his house. Gray appears, eats without looking back. It doesn't flee but keeps its distance. Petro doesn't push. He visits the shelter, where a scarred dog looks at him like Gray. He'll take her when she recovers. Weeks pass. Gray comes nightly, sits on the doorstep, gazes at the sky. One day, it leaves a feather, a thank you. Petro tucks it with Merchik's collar. Gray never becomes tame, but it no longer steals or hisses. Its eyes are calm, at peace. Petro thinks, they've both changed. Gray taught him to fight, he gave the cat a chance. Maybe Gray will enter the house someday. Or maybe it'll just sit, remembering Alya. Petro is ready to wait.